Hey everybody, Brandon Costa reporting for Sports Video Group. We're coming to you from our live TV LA and sports imaging conferences here at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Los Angeles. We have the pleasure of being joined by Deon LeCointe from Sony Electronics. They were the title sponsor of the sports imaging portion of the program today. Deon, always a pleasure to see you, man. How you doing?
Great seeing you. How are you doing?
I think you might be one of our most recurring guests on SVG On Demand, and I got no problem with it.
I'm okay with it too. It's always a great show. You guys put on a great show. The crowd always has great questions. There's always a lot of informational topics that we want to hear what the industry is doing. We really want to hear what the end users are talking about and get the direct feedback. So it's always good to participate. It's always good for us to share our opinion and our directions directly with the end users and get their candid feedback. They might like it, they might hate it. Who knows? But we want to have that interaction for sure.
Right. Well, you guys had a very cool display here at the show where you're actually giving people the opportunity to take a look at some 4K HDR, 4K SDR. HDR has been a real hot topic over the past year. So what were you showing, and what were some of the impressions that you're getting from people who are finally get to see it with their own eyes, maybe?
Sure. We really want to, instead of, because we can bring a camera, we could shut it up, but lighting isn't optimal, things like that. We really just wanted to show people what the capabilities of our camera portfolio are. And we have an entire lineup of cameras that can do 4K, that can do HDR, that can do HD HDR. So high dynamic range has just kind of become another trending topic for this year. And we wanted to show people that the Sony lineup is already there. So we can deliver your HD workflows, your 4K workflows, your high dynamic range workflows today and tomorrow. So we really just wanted to show people some footage of not only HDR, but also high frame rate HDR. So now you have the ability to get super slow motion and high dynamic range out of the same solution. That's something that we think is pretty powerful for the attendees of the show.
Sure, and to speak specifically on the sports market, obviously your 4300, the 4800 have been, they've become staples in the industry as of late. As you continue to push forward with high frame rate and HDR, how do you see the sports market responding to some of the moves you guys are making?
Well, the sports market is always on the bleeding edge. So I think, I said it today in one of the panels, is that we find that the sports production teams tend to do things first, and then other markets, other verticals out there tend to follow behind because they just have to do it. There's a craving by the end user. There's a demand for more content, demand for more angles, high frame rate at every angle. So we're seeing increased demand in live HDR production from the sports market, and that's really translated well into the roadmap that Sony has already planned, and it's going to translate even better as we roll out more and more products in the future.
All right, Sony, thanks a lot for joining us here, Deon. We always appreciate Sony's support, so thanks a lot.
No problem. Our pleasure.
All right, for more coverage of the live TV LA and sports imaging conferences, you can visit us online at sportsvideo.org.